Hello, my name is R. Blank, and I run SYB. Inspired by the life's work of my father, Dr. Martin Blank, one of the world's leading EMF scientists, it's my company's mission to help you shield your body from harmful EMF radiation and make technology safer for you to use and enjoy. In this video, I'm going to talk about the impact of addictive technology on our lives and our health. And by the end of this video, you will also learn how you can make technology a smaller, healthier part of your life, which is the way it's supposed to be. There's no denying the fact that technology has significantly enhanced our quality of life. It has bridged the miles between us and our loved ones. It has made entertainment effortless, and the whole world of information is available at our fingertips. But as with all things, there needs to be a balance for it to be healthy. And the way many of us are using tech right now is not healthy. For example, a report from MarketWatch found that today's teens spend an average of 7.5 hours per day on screens. That's almost half of their waking hours, and it doesn't include screen time for homework and schoolwork. Another report from research firm Dscout says that an average smartphone user taps, touches, or swipes their device a whopping 2,617 times per day. The real problem is not that people are becoming addicted to technology, but that technology is becoming more addictive. The key to any addiction is dopamine, also known as the feel-good hormone. Dopamine is a chemical that the brain releases in anticipation of pleasure. When we know something will be pleasurable, our brain triggers dopamine release, which encourages us to repeat that same action again and again, turning it into an addiction. Social networking sites, video games, and many cell phone apps are all cleverly designed to trigger this dopamine release. That's what keeps us engaged with these apps and platforms and devices. Think about this. Have you ever closed a social media app because it's gotten boring, only to reopen it just a few minutes later because you're bored again? Or have you ever found yourself infinitely scrolling your feed without paying close attention to what's actually on the screen? These are both examples of the dopamine trigger in action. And even if you make up your mind to close these applications and focus on something productive, the constant notifications will pull you right back where you started. Now, for something to be considered an addiction, it needs to meet two criteria. The first is you can't stop on your own. You're drawn to re-engage over and over, even when you'd prefer not to. And the second is the activity causes you harm. Now, a lot of people feel they meet the first criteria. They realize they'd like to use their tech less, but they're still drawn to use it. And they feel that it's okay because it's not doing them or anyone else any harm. I mean, some people have really immediately obvious harm to their lives from tech addiction. These are people who, for example, spend all their money on micro-purchases and video games, or who can't function properly at work because they're up all night scrolling their Insta feed. But what I am saying is that even if tech addiction isn't decimating your bank account, or harming your job performance, or ruining your personal relationships, it is still causing you harm. Because each time you engage with a digital experience, some type of app on some type of device, you are exposing yourself to more EMF radiation. Each additional exposure increases your cumulative EMF exposure, and that increases your personal health risk from EMF radiation. Now, I fully understand this can be hard for some people to appreciate in real time. After all, we're talking about health risks that can emerge months, years, or even decades later. But this is what high-quality, peer-reviewed science tells us. Each additional minute of exposure to EMF radiation increases your personal risk of developing a wide variety of negative health outcomes, ranging from anxiety and sleep disruption all the way up to infertility and brain tumors. And that's why it's so important to reduce your use of technology. Now, don't get me wrong. I really do appreciate technology. It's brought so many enhancements to so many aspects of our lives, from entertainment to travel to work productivity and research. The tech revolution has had an incredibly positive outcome in many areas of our lives and society. But all of this technology also has a cost to our health. And so we need to factor in that cost as we evaluate how to use and engage with modern technology. Yes, you should use tech that adds value to your life, But you shouldn't just use tech mindlessly as though it has no cost to your health. Now, for some of us, this type of cost-benefit analysis is manageable, and we can use some technology sometimes when we feel it adds value, and we can skip using other technology whose value doesn't really justify the cost to our health. But if you have a tech addiction, that makes it even more challenging to reduce your EMF exposure. And judging by the statistics, an awful lot of us, especially children and teens, have an addiction to technology. So we all need to recognize the role that tech addiction plays in our exposure to harmful EMF radiation. Trying to get people to use less tech without acknowledging the role of tech addiction is like trying to quit smoking without acknowledging the addictive effect of nicotine. Which is why it is so important to acknowledge the role that tech addiction plays in our lives. And to help with that, I've gathered a list of things that you can do to foster a healthier relationship with technology. Number 1, create rules and guidelines for tech use at home. For example, no cell phone use during meals. That's just one suggestion. You could make others. For example, no tech use for an hour before bedtime, or no tech in the bedroom. The point is to establish some rules and then follow them. Not to give up tech, but instead to set boundaries that limit your use of tech at home. Number 2, track your screen time. Both Android and Apple devices have built-in functions for tracking how long you spend on them. You can also put time limits on particular apps. Often, just seeing how much time you spend in an app can incentivize you to start using it less. Number 3, disable notifications from distracting apps on your phone. You can do this for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Fortnite. Any app that's sending you notifications you don't really need, you should disable. By disabling notifications, you will be removing a key dopamine trigger that encourages you to spend more time with these apps. Number 4, physically distance yourself from your devices as much as possible. This serves 2 purposes. 1, it makes you less likely to be distracted by them. And 2, it reduces your exposure to EMF radiation, since the power of EMF diminishes exponentially with distance. Number 5, uninstall social media apps from your phone. I know for some of you that may sound crazy or challenging, but I don't know a single person who's done it who regrets it. Not only will this reduce your phone usage and your exposure to EMF, but you'll also start to notice improvements in your general mood. Seriously, this is a great step. So there you have 5 examples of specific, tangible actions you can take right now to help manage your tech addiction. For more information on tech addiction, you can visit the link on your screen. I've also added that link in the video description. So check out the post, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching.